During this decade, modding became a common part of the gaming, with mods for certain games differing in amount, scope, and complexity greatly. There are games like Skyrim, Minecraft, Fallout New Vegas, which have dozens, thousands of mods. RimWorld, Witcher 3, Stardew Valley, GTA, Mountain Blade, which have thousands, and hundreds of other games that have modding support in general. Mods often open a brand new dimension for gaming, allowing us to fix, improve, and expand our beloved games drastically and often just beyond imagination. But all these are, at least relatively, modern games, and if you play them, you surely know about mods for them. But what about mods for some absolutely legendary, classic games, some of which are incredibly old? And here it turns out, once again, that modding knows no limits, and there are a few huge, absolutely incredible mods for well-known legendary games which you actually may not know about. Each of them is huge and breathes a new life into these games, and long enough to urge you to replay the game immediately. Let's take a look. Median XL. Diablo II is probably the most well-known and simply iconic isometric action RPG existing. Despite being 20 years old, it is still considered a pillar of this genre, and something almost every similar game takes inspiration from, at least in something. But did you know Diablo II gave birth to one of the biggest mods ever existing in general? The most popular Diablo II mod, praised even by the game creators themselves, Median XL, drastically expands character customization and building, adding multi-layered opportunities to develop existing and brand new character archetypes, adds new challenging gameplay and expands endgame content. It adds thousands of new items, new skills for all classes, new areas and dungeons, and of course boss fights, makes a complete revamping of crafting system, and also adds many various quality of life improvements for more comfortable gameplay, based on improved game engine itself. If you ever play Diablo 2, Median XL will blow your mind entirely and give you dozens or even hundreds of gameplay hours. And moreover, with active community and even online events, as mod is being actively developed and supported even as for today. Restoration project for Fallout 2. There is nothing coming faster to mind when thinking about RPG and post-apocalyptic setting. The Fallout series shines through generations of gamers, and Fallout 2 is still always placed in the lists of top 10 best RPGs of all times by almost any game journalist and player. Incredibly non-linear, with huge world to explore and interact with, where even tiniest choices matter, with dark humor and incredibly well-written characters. Fallout 2 is a true pillar of an RPG genre. The Restoration project, first of all, includes the unofficial patch, which fixes tons of glitches and oversights in the game, and the mod itself adds back all the missing content to the game that was pulled off or left unfinished in the original game for whatever reasons. This expansion attempted to stay true to what made Fallout great, and thus the new content was going to be a reality of what the original developers wanted and nothing else. Over 10 new locations to visit, new characters, encounters, plenty of items, dozens of improvements to original settlements, and even karmic-related events. Restoration project makes Fallout 2 noticeably bigger, and it is a great option for both replaying the game as a Fallout veteran and a newbie trying the series for the first time. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is another classic masterpiece on which huge amount of an RPG fans either grew up or met as an example of what a true RPG can be. Unlimited role-playing freedom in an alternative Los Angeles in 21st century. You're playing as a vampire in a world of darkness, ruled by powerful clans, each one with own codex, abilities and powers. The huge drawback of the game is that it was really rushed and almost unplayable due to myriads of bugs from minor to totally game-breaking. The Clan Quest mod, first of all, integrates the fixes of unofficial patch and adds a dozen of new quests specific to each of the 7 clans. There is also an entirely new pass midway through the game, a new humanity system, new ending, dozens of graphical improvements and easter eggs here and there for the World of Darkness, and even support for other prominent mods. Oh, and it's also fully voiced. The Clan Quest mod provides the needed stability to the game and gives a great expansion to its world and storyline. Gothic 2 returning. Appeared in the same times as Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Gothic was somewhat a niche game due to its terrible marketing, but it is one of the best RPGs of all times, one of the first real open-world games with unforgettable atmosphere and perfectly handcrafted level design, which gives you a true feeling of progression in the game world and storyline like almost no other game. Returning, a mod for Gothic 2 adds around 200 of gameplay hours, with game itself being around 50 hours to finish in average. Over 20 new locations, 8 huge ones and over 10 smaller ones, dozens of weapons, armors and brand new artifacts, more than 300 new quests, over 100 new NPCs, new species of monsters and bosses, new spells and magic mechanics, improved animations and corrected combat mechanics, and 4 new guilds to play as, including the Necromancers and Brotherhood. Mod is basically so huge that it is simply impossible to fully describe it briefly. There is a more detailed review and installation tutorial on my channel as well, linked in the video description. There is a strategy series, which is at least heard about by almost every gamer in the world, Heroes of Might and Magic. While series itself is being developed up for today, it is the Heroes of Might and Magic 3, which is considered one of the best strategies of all time and still being played by people from 15 up to like 65 years old all across the world. In the Wake of Gods is a huge add-on which fixes and improves countless aspects of the game, allowing you to completely transform it in all directions, as it's also fully configurable with over 100 of settings. Dozens of new creatures, new evolutions to existing creatures, for example tier 3 improvements to level 7 creatures and additional improvements to some of other creatures between all levels, new abilities for the monsters and improved spells for heroes, experience system for creatures and brand new artifacts, commanders, a single strong creature like a right hand of your hero which fights on the battlefield with own stats, artifacts and unique abilities to develop and much more. It also supports up to 4K full screen game resolution and ultimately it is built around brand new script engine which allows all these new features and extensive tweaking up to your taste, and almost all other existing mods for this game are based on it. The last game in today's list is not actually that old, but for some reason I have noticed almost anyone ever played it, even a long-time fans of the series, are absolutely not aware about modding capabilities for it. The Mass Effect 3 is arguably the last good game in critically acclaimed sci-fi RPG series, and should you like it or not, the series itself is one of the most epic series you ever played. An amazing story wrapped around "United we stand, divided we fall" motto, set in a distant future. It actually has immense modding stage, but today's subject is a single mod which is almost game size itself. Over 20 new armors and weapons, multiple new customization options for the Normandy, expanded galaxy map with dozens of new places to explore, new missions, new war assets and crewmates, and tons of cut content, including brand new war events you were not able to take action in vanilla game. All the EGM editions combined is a so vast addition to vanilla game, but are made so seamlessly, you will almost likely never notice it is a mod. That's it for today folks. I hope you have enjoyed this video and found at least a couple things you was not aware about for the games you love. If so, please let me know in comments or drop your own thoughts about the mods I should have talked about here in your opinion. Don't forget to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. Stay tuned, stay healthy and stay happy. Scimitar Gaming here, signing out.